cybercrime has emerged as one of the top-notch crime syndicates in the world. We have unearthed or detected certain call center-like, factory-like setups in our investigations where we have raided these cybercrime facilities. And thirdly, which is more important, that the turnover of cybercrime in the world has increased to $6 trillion, which is more than economies in developed countries as well.
When it comes to the cyberbullying, as of today, awareness channel doesn't exist that much. So as per the UNICEF, 33% of the young people, be it in college or school, they are getting victim of a cyberbullying. As per the National Crime Department of India, 63% rise year on year on a cyberbullying cases itself. And there's another NGO, CRY, which is Child Rights and Youth. 8 out of 10 people, be it at a workplace or be it in college, are experiencing cyberbullying. It can be social media, Facebook, putting somebody's pictures over there, sending them offensive messages. So it's happening there.
Yes, it's happening. It's happening in every city, every town, every village. It's happening everywhere. It could happen in your house. It can happen in my house. It is like that. Sometimes we kind of isolate ourselves, and say that, oh, it must be happening somewhere else.
2016 तक एक ही पुलिस स्टेशन था जो साइबर केसेस रिलेटेड हैंडल करता था. आफ्टर 2016 ईच एंड 94 पुलिस स्टेशन में एक साइबर सेल है. यू नो व्हाई? क्योंकि ये इतना क्राइम बढ़ गया.
Sometimes it doesn't always work out the way we want it to or expect it to, but keep going nonetheless. You won't see the way it will work out if you stop. Remember that the opinion of others can't define your reality.
There is no such thing as perfect. And the reasoning for this is because everyone's idea for perfect is different.
I am sensitive, smallest things hurt me. That's my weakness. Little things make me happy too. That's my strength. Just because it's taking time doesn't mean it's not happening. You don't have to be great to start. Growth is not a linear process. It's full of ups and downs. Stop comparing your growth to that of those around you. Everyone grows in their own way, at their own pace, through their own challenges.
We just heard the diary written by a young girl with a lot of hopes, a lot of positivity, girl with an outlook to live life to the fullest. Somewhere we lost this hope. And to what? Cyberbullying.
Very bright and talented girl, Swara. Apart from pursuing medicine, she was a wonderful artist, a wonderful creative person with wonderful painting talent, singing talent, and lot more. So a budding, a flourishing, and a very bright and brilliant student was taken away because of the misdeeds of this person.
Swara was a beautiful soul. She was a brilliant girl, a doctor who made such beautiful paintings, who wrote such beautiful diaries. It's sad that she's not with us today. Outwardly, it was that she didn't do very well in the exams. And post-exams results, she was disturbed and she left us. She left us in March. But before that, in January, she writes, I think I'm badly spiraling down. Couldn't control anything. Checked out ways to die. Checked if I could hang myself in my room. Next day, she writes, my friends all came over concerned for me. So the secret keepers, who kept the secret rather too tight though. I'm very grateful for she mentions her friends' names. I would avoid that. I can't believe what would have happened to me without these people. So she mentioned 7, 8 friends. That's where I spoke to those friends. Tried to hang myself today, almost did. Got a scar on neck. Mom asked about the scar, told her it's an injury from necklace. But everyone processes the grief very differently. My process was to sit in the room that she ultimately took news to herself in. And while sitting there, somehow I saw a lot of half-eaten strips of an potent prescription antidepressant. Okay, and that made me realize that this couldn't just be recent. There has to be something. And at that time, I actually thought that maybe it's an hidden mental sickness. So my search started finding out whether anyone knew, was she under prescription, was she under any psychiatrist, or she was self-prescribing because she was a doctor. So that's where my quest to know about her started. So the friends are helping her to kind of like, they are trying, ki main, where do I go and find out some help, cyberbully and stalker. And so the details are not even, but the evidence is that someone is stalking her on Instagram. Then I started asking the kids to show me their Instagram, and through their Instagram,
These
and
shocking
these
revelations were
so kind of like, and then I asked them to share the WhatsApp messages. And then in her diary or somewhere, in one of the texts, I think she mentions that when I have done a cybercrime online report, so on such and such date. So I think she's talking to Cyber Dost, which is a Twitter account of Central Government of India. And in that she's asking, please help me, I have sent you a message. So I took that date, that this date she has sent some message to so and so. Having collated all this, then I brought that to my husband. And my husband said that we are trying to look for a needle in a haystack. We don't know who he is. He could be anywhere in this world.
In Mumbai, we have the best police, one of the best police, and they can reach to anywhere. Swara's case was a needle in the haystack, and we got to the criminal.
Today, the youth of our country are so important to our country, and each life is so precious. And someone just being bullied like this,
It is the false belief of the criminal that internet provides an anonymous platform. That means their digital footprints will never be tracked if they make a fake account, and they can do with impunity all types of cyberbullying, cyber stalking, and even sextortion or blackmailing on the internet. But this is not true. The digital footprints remain forever on the internet. And that's why we always say, internet never forgets, internet never forgives. So whatever you post on internet always remain, it never gets forgotten. And if any law enforcement agency is smart enough, then these digital footprints can be recovered. That's why internet never forgives. So one can be caught. For instance, in the Brush of Hope case, Swara, police acted with alacrity, intelligence and smartness and could catch the criminal who was himself a well-educated MBA student from Hyderabad. So this is how the police can catch the criminals, and as I always say, detection is the best prevention or best protection. If you can detect a crime, catch a criminal, that is the best protection. It is like an exemplary case to the society, and many such budding cyberbullies are stopped in their tracks.
I said, but you just said there is a needle. And indeed, there is something if there is a needle, and if not in our might and right, if we can't uncover the hay, then who will? And this will keep on going.
When you commit a normal crime or a physical crime, then the evidences may vanish with time. But when you commit a digital crime, the digital footprints will remain forever. It needs to be only unmasked, uncovered, and brought under the ambit of law. So, this kind of awareness should be given both to criminals as well as the gullible victims.
ऑफ कोर्स ये अनफॉर्चुनेटली बहुत रेयर केस होता है, जैसे स्वरा का केस हुआ है. पुलिस ऑलवेज सॉल्व करती है, और पुलिस के पास अगर कोई भी मैटर जाता है तो पुलिस
वे फाइंड करती है, इन्वेस्टिगेशन करके प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करती कि कोई भी ऐसा स्टेप ना ले कि अपनी लाइफ का एंड करे.
Being forced probably to commit suicide because this beautiful girl who had dreams, aspirations, everything, she completely lost hope. She couldn't imagine one more day on this planet just because of somebody who was tormenting her, torturing her, and she was facing it all by herself.
I think if Swara would have just had a conversation with anyone near and dear to her, like maybe Sheetal, because she was very close to her. It was Bua was always a priority. I've known Sheetal so closely and I've seen Swara. If she just had an open dialogue.
ये एक हम लोग बोले कि ये बुलिंग जो साइबर क्राइम है, ये ह्यूज वर्ड है, ये बहुत बड़ा वर्ड है. सी सोशल मीडिया के कुछ अच्छे भी इफेक्ट है और कुछ साइड इफेक्ट भी. अच्छे इफेक्ट है कि हमें अवेयरनेस आ रहा है, सोसाइटी क्या है, वर्ल्ड क्या है, हम लोगों को आज बिकॉज ऑफ दिस सोशल मीडिया से पता चल रहा है कि एक्सपोजर आ रहा है, क्या चल रहा है. बट उसके साइड इफेक्ट इतने डैमेज कर रहे हैं, पर्सनैलिटी को कर रहा है, सोसाइटी को भी डैमेज हो रहा है.
See, the only way Swara could have been saved was by the process of awareness. And that's what we are all doing through this documentary as well. If people are aware where to call, where to complain, where to report their grievances without any stigma. So I always say that destigmatization of sex torture is very important. The victim should know where to report, destigmatize it totally, and pursue the criminal with all their might.
I know all the parents today say, oh, this didn't happen in our age and now it's so different. The cyberspace is so different. But as we teach our kids empathy, kindness, offline, I think so it's also become important for parents to tell their children that online empathy and kindness also has to be taught. There has to be an open dialogue communication at home. This environment at home has to be that everyone is talking about everything. And parents also need to learn this whole cyberspace and learn what's happening. Because this is the way the curve is moving and the parents will have to move that curve. And for kids, for children also need, I know most of the children think that parents won't understand. But one thing children I can tell you all that no one be more happier in your happiness than your own parents and no one will be sadder in your sadness than your own parents.
कोई हक करके पेरेंट्स माँ अगर घर पे आके बच्चे के साथ हक करके पूछे. मैंने आज मैं अब बोल दूँ कि एक स्वरा के एक डायरी में एक मैं ये है कि मैं उसके नेक पे ना एक मार्किंग था जब इस स्वरा ने ट्राई किया था. तो मार्किंग था ना, शायद अगर वो मार्किंग और भी उसके फ्रेंड उसको हक करके पूछ लेते ना माँ के सिवा, हक करके सपोर्ट के लिए, तो शायद वो लड़की ना उसके साथ कनेक्ट होके शायद अपना.
The line of communication is most important, just to be able to, as much as possible, talk to your children. They might say something that you feel is not right, but to kind of not react at that time and just let them keep speaking, like to keep that gateway open, because if I react to something very quickly or I snap at something, they'll be like, oh, last time when I said it, this was her reaction, so I rather not say it. But it's sometimes just better to sit with a straight face and take it all in, just so you know that they are talking to you. And I think that is most important.
The children, they fear the stigma they'll get to their parents, and that is why the society also needs to open up to this. There are things happening around in the cyberspace which they know that are not real. Most of the times these deep fakes, the pictures being morphed, they know it's most of the time happening, so you don't have to. The child is a victim, he is not a criminal. They need to get that clear and loud that he is not a criminal, he is a victim. So please support that child, don't stigmatize that child, he's not done anything wrong.
Not giving the phones to your children is not the ultimate, but to educate them and to introduce them in a right way as an educationist for us, to teach the children that you have got the knife, it is good to cut the vegetables, then rather using that knife to kill someone. That's the most important thing of an educationist, to explain them.
So you are buying a car, let's say the Ferrari top model, it has the best world-class safety, right? All the controls and everything is there. But it boils down to the driver who has to drive it. If you don't know the driving well, you are going to ram into the corner. But if you're driving a Corolla, but you know the driving skills are good, so responsibility lies into the individual user's hand. There's a need for security awareness. AI is there, tomorrow there will be another technology. The landscape is changing very rapidly. But as an individual, first of all, it's our responsibility.
Related concept to prevention is awareness. Right now, India is having more than 70 crore smartphones. And a smartphone of today is more powerful than the supercomputer of yore. It is so powerful. That means 70 crore Indians or thereabouts are carrying a very, very powerful computer on their palms.
We can't blame the government, we shouldn't blame anybody. We need to blame our own self for this. First time जब भी पता चला, तभी ही it is the parents' duty, it is the society's duty, it is a friend's duty, it is a school's duty. Everybody is responsible. I wouldn't say it is just one community or one person who is responsible. We can't blame that. When Swara is not there, it is every individual's failure. We can't say it's a parent's failure. We can't say it's a family failure. I find it's a society failure. It is a society who has moved, who have made this notion in a wrong way.
ये ओनली समाज का डर है कि लोग क्या कहेंगे. हम लोग सोचते हैं ना, कुछ भी करते हैं तो बस हम सिर्फ सोसाइटी की परवाह करते हैं, लोगों की परवाह करते हैं कि लोग क्या बोलेंगे. हमने कभी अपने बारे में सोचा ही नहीं. जो भी हमारे बारे में अच्छे होते हैं तो ठीक है, बट कुछ भी एक्सीडेंटली कुछ हो रहा है तो पहले माइंड में यही आ रहा है, डर यही रहता है कि लोग क्या सोचेंगे. स्वरा के बारे में, जो स्वरा का जिस टाइप से ये फॉर्चुनेटली उसका ट्रेजिक एंड हुआ है, उसके लिए सोसाइटी का डर ही जिम्मेदार है.
When you are using the social media, I understand you want to be the cool child. I understand you want to show the best of your things. Fine. Even if you have done the mistake, fine. बोलो जाके, भाड़ में गए. आपको जो करना है करो. But that attitude has to come from the society. We parents want to hide. When it comes कि मेरे बच्चे ने गलती किया, एज अ मदर मेरे को पता चला, आई विल पुट इट अंडर द कार्पेट. आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू शो. दैट्स द वर्स्ट थिंग. इफ यू स्टार्ट शोइंग योर वुंड्स, देयर आर पीपल और द डॉक्टर्स इन द सोसाइटी हु विल ट्राई टू हील देम, बट यू डोंट वांट टू शो योर वुंड्स.
Data privacy bill will be actually implemented, which will restrain corporates and some of the people, how to use somebody's data, right? While those things are happening, at the same time, I think I would appreciate Sheetal's initiative, because we should not look for certain things always to the government or administration, because they have a big problems to solve as well. But at the same time, their plate is full. Let's we all come together, create a community and try to make an impact. Even we might not be able to reach out to, the whole population, but even if we'll be able to save, let's say 100 kids or 1,000 kids, that's the difference we can make.
With all the support coming in, all the awareness that we are trying to create, I hope there would come a day when there would be no more Swara. No girl would feel lack of support or lack of understanding. We can all just hope. Why is there so much of social stigma attached? Why is there so much of secondary victimization of our girls? Why do we bring our girls with strict watershed compartments? Good girls, bad girls. Why are there no human shades of grey that are accepted? Why is it so that a small mistrust on someone, an innocent chat, why is it that it takes away the fineness of the girl? Swara will always remain my fine girl. Her innocent talks or her mistrust doesn't take away anything. She's always a good girl.
Russia 4